While we're stuck here at Delta Downs waiting for Monday and a tow truck, we might as well take advantage of checking out the facilities.
See anything?
Little history of Delta Downs.
I stayed in the van all day.
Food prices. And
slept for 13 hours.
it's nighttime, but here is the racetrack, at least what we can see of it. I have made some wagers through TVG on this track, and I don't know that I've ever cashed a ticket, so it's not all that important that I really see it. But Delta Downs, which is in southwest Louisiana, and there's the clubhouse. We're not too far from the Texas state line, and when we get to Wrecker Monday, we'll be headed to Beaumont, Texas, and a repair facility. And then we'll see if they can fix the van. Let's check out inside the casino now. All right, tomorrow morning, AAA will try to get a tow truck here. Lady called me back and said she was having trouble finding any contractors that had a big truck that could come get me tonight. I didn't tell her. I know most people would have been raising Cain if they didn't get immediate service, but I guess I'm too nice. But I'd actually prefer to stay here tonight, since I have permission to overnight here at Delta Downs. And the van is certainly comfortable because the house system, electrical system, is separate from the automobile system. So I can stay indefinitely in this part, because whatever electricity I use overnight, it fills back up almost immediately. I'm going to Beaumont, Texas. AAA facilities are there, and one of them is a Napa dealer. And the battery I have, just in case it's bad, is a Napa battery, and it's got a 3-year warranty, and it was bought in June of 2018. So if it is a battery, I should get a free one there. Gotta stay within my $20 a day budget, and I suspect I may not be able to, even though the tow is free. The repairs, whatever it takes, is going to cost a little money. But once we get this done, I'll just get into the Texas card rooms and see if I can make some of it back. There's Wilbur from Nippers Towing out of Sulphur, Louisiana, loading the van onto the truck.
Yes, sir. I see
On the road heading into Texas. All right. Didn't suspect I would be entering the new state in a tow truck, but that's why we have AAA. And I'm going to save about 3 gallons of gas. It's about 35 miles from Delta Downs to where the repair facility is. So.
Welcome to Texas.
And the tow is gratis, because I'm a premier member of AAA. So they'll tow me up to 100 miles, I think. And here we are at Baker's Auto Repair in Beaumont, Texas. And Wilbur is loading the van into a bay, and he'll get right on it and see if they can figure out what's going on.
There's the offending part.
Here's the offending issue. It was this battery connector, battery cable connector that has gone bad. So that little part cost me $109, but they also looked at the other parts of the system to make sure they're good, like the battery and the alternator. So I'm happy with the service and the pay. This is the first restaurant I have stopped at, fast food restaurant or restaurant period, since White Castle and Bowling Green. And I was hungry because all I'd had for breakfast all day long was some chocolate-covered almonds. So I hit up Jack in the Box in their triple cheeseburger. I got to make those calories back up. Wouldn't want to get skinny. And when we crossed the Texas state line, gas was $2.19, and I figured it would be bad form to ask the tow truck driver to pull over so I could fill up. Yeah, I didn't know that as the further we get into Texas, it's going back up. But $2.39 is what I paid for it when I left Greensburg, so I'll be happy with this. Should have looked before I stopped at the Jack in the Box, because if you look across the street, I bet Aunt Juanita's fish camp would have been a good place to eat lunch, especially looking at all the cars parked and motorcycles parked there. But I was so famous that the Jack in the Box burger was great too. We're passing over the Intercoastal Waterway, and when we get up to the top of this big bridge, we'll have a nice bird's eye view of the swamp, the flatland, as we approach the Gulf of Mexico. You can see for miles, and water courses are everywhere because the grass is just growing up in the water. And somewhere ahead of us is a town that promises free camping on the beach. We'll check it out when we get there. This morning's activities wore me out, and I wasn't thinking clearly as I approached High Island, Texas, and I pulled into this roadside picnic area. Texas allows you to spend 24 hours at places like this, and I was considering staying here. But when I looked at the map, I was only a mile away from this. Here we are at the High Island Beach, and this is the free campground boondocking area. I drove down a ways, but the sand is soft, so I decided to turn around and head back to a little more terra firma before I got stuck, because I spent 2 days in a parking lot, and I don't want to spend the rest of the week waiting for somebody to come tow me out of a quicksand. We're getting back towards the entrance to this park, and as you see the oil derrick on the right side, we are in oil country. And up ahead is sort of the, I guess, welcome booth and trash cans. And then there's a little parking lot area ahead of us and over to the right. And I'm going to choose one of these. And this is where we will spend the night tonight, camping in the van, right on, well, I can't say the beach, but right on the seashore, because that's the Gulf of Mexico that you see. And it looks like the tide is rolling in. Actually, the high tide is about 7:45 or so this evening, and we'll see if it's going to get up into the parking lot. And if it does, I'll move to slightly higher ground. But we're going to enjoy this area. Surprisingly, there are not very many people here. There are a few that are enjoying the area. Here comes a couple with their dogs, and as you can see, the surf is pounding hard. This is an old roadbed that washed away in the last hurricane, and they piled some median blockers into the water to prevent further erosion. It's just probably a matter of time before this whole area goes, but while it's here and I'm here, we're going to take advantage of it. If you look out in the water, you might be able to make out a shrimp boat. And I'm just enjoying sitting here watching seafood being caught. We'll have to try some fresh before we leave. Of course, seagulls are everywhere. Some of the locals call those flying rats. And since I'm a visitor, they're pretty nice to look at. But here's the old road. You can see it stretching in the distance, and that's the way we came from. Here are the flying rats, and they don't care. This is their beach, so you have to be persistent to get them in the air. But eventually they play along and give you a dramatic shot. There are plenty of seashells already here, but as high tide comes in, I think, from what I understand, the best time to find the really good seashells are when the tide goes out. So we'll check out when the tide goes out. If we're awake, we'll do some beach combing and see what we. There's one that's pretty common, I'm sure, but it's at least intact, and we'll see if we can find some pretty ones when the tide starts to go out. Here's a slow motion a gratuitous slow motion shot of the waves crashing into the beach while the van is parked probably 15 feet away. And yeah, I'm overusing the slow motion, but hey, I'm having fun.